We're on now, so just talk away while I check if the sound works.
So Alan, just talk away, much to be honest.
Yeah. Looking forward to this one.
But if you're looking for any sensible talk, Alan is not the one you want to talk away.
No, that would be Mr. Dill.
Well, that Barry's not very sensible. Hello, good evening, or good morning or afternoon, depending on whatever time you're choosing to watch this live but not live production from us, as we're just getting into the spirit of the season by watching some meetings from a couple of years ago. Today we've got Poole versus Scunthorpe from the playoffs in 2023. I'm joined by Mr. Dylan Hodgetts for the whole thing, and maybe for another hour or so. Unfortunately, we're joined by Alan.
What do you mean, unfortunately?
Exactly what it says on the tin, Hackett.
He gets his B45 and he makes a return already.
It's alright, we're watching Glasgow on Monday. Hopefully you're there for that, because we're picking a meeting that they're losing.
Oh, you had to. What one did you pick?
We ain't yet.
We haven't picked it yet, but
At least give us one. We've got half a chance of winning.
No.
Edinburgh would be quite nice.
No.
I'd quite like to watch.
Is that a season where Edinburgh were better than Glasgow?
2015, 2014, they won the league that year.
We're doing bloody we're watching on BSN. How can we go back to 2015?
YouTube.
Oh, fuck.
YouTube.
oh,
You can watch it through YouTube.
And this is
This
why we
is
don't have
why-
the idiot back.
this is why he got a P45.
Oh, God.
You can pick one for last season. We weren't very good in them. Just saying.
But we've probably done a watch along to it then.
Well, what will be. If Glasgow get dicked, we can have a laugh, and if Glasgow win it, we'll just cry into oblivion.
Fair enough.
And on that note, let's have a look at the teams from this meeting, because this was a very entertaining meeting.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Palmer, do you want to do the visitors first?
So, lining up for the Scunthorpe Scorpions, who this night was managed by Robert Godfrey. Their number 7 was Nathan Ablett. Drew Kemp rode at number 6. Michael Palm Toft rode at 5. Jake Allen rode at number 4. Connor Mountain rode at number 3. Skipper Simon Lambert rode at number 2. And their number 1 back at the time was Ryan Douglas. Miss you, Ryan.
And obviously there ain't going to be riders to watch because we already know what happens. For the Pirates of Poole, managed as always by Neil Middleditch. Joe Thompson was at number 7, who had ironically been released by Scunthorpe earlier in that season. Carl Newman at 6, Steve Worrell at 5, Zach Cook at 4, Ben Cook at 3, Anders Rowe at 2, and Richard Lawson at number 1. For this stream, it's going to be almost a Gogglebox style thing where we react to what we're watching, so there will be a little bit of sound, but not a lot. And if you want to watch this meeting back, it's on the BSN website.
And this is just a little disclaimer that there may be some strong language, as much as we will try and keep it to a minimum. Alan is about, and he does say some stupid things, so some strong language may be included.
Some stupid things, doesn't it?
I do promise not to say anything stupid.
Well,
So,
you've already said something stupid by making that promise.
Without further ado, I'll press play.
They make their way from the pits and walk across the centre green, and
The irony of Joe Thompson wearing scunny Kevlars with a Poole race jacket over the top.
He had about half a season doing that, if I recall.
It kind of answers the question of what's better, race suits or race jackets. Exhibit A, Exhibit B.
Out the best of both worlds.
Yeah, but it just looks stupid.
I'd say the volume's just about right. You can hear what's going on the stream, and then you can hear us as well. So that's probably about perfect.
Cool.
I know I am mush.
I beg to differ on that regard.
Well, you know what they say, perfection born in Scunny and all that.
Yeah, usually leaves.
Saw it on the internet, must be true.
Lee Kilby and Ian Brennan on comms for this, isn't it?
I think so.
That it is, yeah. Nice
Can't
to
remember
hear.
who was in the BSN booth at the time.
Nice to hear a different voice on commentary. rather than-
Winchester has said, with it being last season, must be able to show footage or not. No, there's still a copyright in place for it.
Yeah,
I think we're probably
we
taking
can't-
we're probably taking a risk having the volume on, but we'll talk over it where we can. So hopefully we'll be within the copyright limits.
And if Martin Hunter and the BSN crew watch this, we apologise as we can't really afford the copyright fees.
Please bill any copyright infringement
To Alan McNally.
I was going to say
Yeah.
to your boss, Big Andy.
No, don't do that to BSN.
I think we'll be alright, hopefully, and obviously people can go and watch the meeting back if they so desire to watch it back on BSN for a reduced fee of what it is when it's live, and if you've had previous seasons packages, it'll be on there.
I'll say I don't think there is any charge to watch 2022 or 2023 meetings now, or 2024 in that matter.
I couldn't tell you if I'm honest. So Winchester, if you want to watch it, whack it on your own screen and just listen to us.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
These race suits were nice, but the ones that Paul had this past year were even nicer.
R.I.P. Poole's Pirates washing machines.
It ain't until you see this, you see that there were very, very minimal changes to Scunny suits, weren't there?
If it's not broken, why fix it?
It's true, it was
I
better
think
to have the
it
more
was-
yellow in that they had this year, well, last year now, innit?
Well, apparently the suits are blue and yellow again this year.
It's almost Scunny's colour now, innit? Remember when they went through the years of white and blue and red?
How could I forget?
I do prefer this blue, black and yellow. And a bit of white.
It does look a lot better, doesn't it?
Yeah. And obviously Speedway in the UK is trying to get more professional again, in it, so I think we'll see any form of race suits in the top leagues not make a return again except for guests.
I mean, to be fair, even we've stopped using race jackets for guests now. We've
It's
got
an old
like them
hockey
little.
jersey, ain't it?
We've got no, it's not even that. We've got race shirts now as well.
Right,
Splashing the cash.
absolutely loaded.
Well, he's a multi-millionaire. He just won't say it. I mean, what?
That's fair enough, yeah, that's true. With this, we'll be skipping breaks and interviews and track grades and anything like that, so we'll just be watching the racing, talking as we go, and hopefully this will build up everyone's appetite for the real season starting again.
Yeah, it's not long to go now, and if you're able to obviously like attend amateur meetings and that, it does help get the buzz for the season. Unless like me the other day and you was absolutely freezing your knackers off, and then you can't wait for July to come round, so you're not as cold.
Alan's quiet.
Good.
Al, are you dead?
No, I'm not dead. I'm just enjoying the Dan Palmer chat. Oh,
So We'll skip a little bit now to Heat 1 and we'll get underway with the action because Al spoke enough shit.
Wow.
Well, when Palmer presses play anyway.
Palmer!
This was a good season for Scunny, were it, Palmer? You were almost as good as Poole at Poole, and they were almost as good as Scunny at Scunny.
They was a lot better at Scunthorpe than what we was at Poole, but we did put in some quite impressive performances at Poole over that year.
Obviously, we know the result of this meeting already, and to be fair, not many teams were doing that to Poole.
No. I mean, even in the league fixture where we was a little bit crap because we had the likes of Max Clegg in the team, you know, and I think we racked up 41, 42 points in that meeting. So, you know, this other than 2012, this team could have been the best Scunthorpe team ever.
Good even
Oh,
break
the pace
that.
went up.
They did. Richard Lawson dropped the clutch quicker, and then Dougie just went round the inside and straight under him, didn't he? And Dougie loved riding at Poole.
He did. I'm surprised, to be fair, he didn't have a little stint there.
It's almost like when he loved Peterborough as well, didn't he? But never went there.
He did, yeah. He almost went to Peterborough, apparently, though. I think
Yeah.
he might have been 23.
Yeah, he nearly went there, but decided to come back to Wolves in the end. May want to turn the volume down just a touch.
There we go, we're on 2%. Sorry, BSN.
Simon Lambert doing well to hold third.
It's
Was
only
this-
Anders Rowe, he's ginger.
What year did Anders ride for Scunny?
Oh!
22. The back end of 22.
Oh, was it? Anders nicked third, didn't he?
I think Simon had.
I'm not sure.
You know?
I can't remember that one, but I think the meeting's obviously gone, but from this angle it looked like Anders Rowe got third.
I think Anders got third on that. I can't remember. If
We'll find
BSN
out
would be
now.
ever so kind to give us a result, it would be greatly appreciated.
So Palmer can refill in his programme.
And this was obviously one of Dougie's last meetings for Scunny as well.
Oh, stop reminding me, we're still not over it. But yeah, it was, and it's no real surprise he dropped the championship at the end of this particular season.
And then he was followed out this year just gone by Pickering, Ben Cook and Tom Brennan.
Started a trend. Anders Rowe nicked third.
Yeah, hang on, how close was it? It wasn't. It wasn't even close.
It wasn't even close,
No,
was
it
it?
wasn't.
It looked closer from the other angle than it did that.
It's unlucky because Syed rode a really good race up until that point, but
I mean, until the meeting 2 or 3, 4 weeks later, I was a bit crap at Poole. And then that meeting happened where he was really, really good, and then he went back to being crap at Poole.
yeah, and ultimately, without spoiling the ending, that race had a bigger impact than you'd think when you get to 8:15.
You're telling me?
Don't you love when Paul bombed through meetings?
Almost like they're trying to be the opposition.
Is it Carl Newman who's not got a team this year?
He has
Yeah.
not.
He's had some bad luck, hasn't he?
But is that due to him not wanting a team
That's
or
true,
no
yeah.
teams wanting him?
That's true, yeah. And Drew Kemp at this point was a former pirate as well, weren't he?
I mean, he'll always be a former pirate. But yeah, this was the year after...
22 he raced for Paul.
yeah, ironically, so did Nathan Ablett.
Yeah, yeah.
So with the
Scunny
current
pair.
current pirates at the time versus former pirates.
And the one of the current pirates was a former Scorpion. And then Carl Newman.
Literally in the same year.
Alan, watching
Um,
this meeting, will obviously have good memories to this year.
No, not at
Ah,
all.
no, he
Alan
can't
doesn't
remember
have
what
good.
happened.
Alan doesn't have good memories of Glasgow's championship winning season.
That match was good. The playoff final at
Nah, it
Scunthorpe,
wasn't.
it
Nobody
was good.
It
cares
was.
about the Ouija's.
Stop ruining my night.
Carl
That
Newman was
was an
definitely
electric
rolling.
gate from Drew there.
Drew Kemp's a flyer.
Round the boards and coming by you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Ablett's in a scoring position at Poole.
Stop the world!
So it was at this point when I was watching this meeting live, I thought we were really up for it and we was going to snatch the win. But as I'm sure we'll see later on, whether it be this race or in the meeting, them hopes were shattered.
It's that moment he knew he'd messed up.
Are we going to
No.
have one of those moments tonight, Palmer, when we realise why on earth have we let Alan back on?
You mean are we going to get one tonight? We're not already wondering that.
No, it'll be Monday when we watch Glasgow. We think, why the fucking hell did we have him back?
What did I do wrong? I've not done anything wrong.
We'll think of
So
something.
the start marshal made a cock up.
I was going to say that was 4 laps. Start Marshall sent him for 5.
So White actually won that then.
Yes.
Just because the Scuddy rider at the time was winning the race.
Yeah, Start Marshall needs to go back to school because he cannot count. Thick as pig shit.
Or go back to just got Specsavers.
Are you being offensive to people with spectacles?
You were going to say that.
But in fairness now, you don't need specs to count.
It's got a point. And then
But
we
you
showed the wrong result.
No,
Oh,
Jason.
yeah. We've
Oh,
had a
no.
bear.
Oh. We've had a Western
There we
Super.
go. Oh my god, Drew's head looks photoshopped on though.
It was.
How was it? That's how it looks it.
Palmer,
If you
please
can
tell me you didn't
see,
do that
you
graphic,
can
did
see
you?
Nathan Ablett's been well and truly photoshopped,
That's true, yeah. That's
if you
true.
look very closely. Joe, on the other hand, not so much,
But he has been.
but he has been.
But yes.
Drew living up to the Drew Kemp's a Flyer tune. What a banger that is.
Probably available somewhere on YouTube.
That was a
if you want
beautiful
to.
first turn from Ablett.
Oh, it was.
I have to say, I'm surprised there wasn't a coming together between Ablett and Thompson.
Nah, easy peasy. That inside off 4 for Newman just did the business. Ablett looked quicker, didn't he? But
Newman with that home track craft.
and he has had a fair few stints at Poole, hasn't he? So
Just a few. We should have had a testimonial last year, but I don't think he ever did.
no, I don't think he did.
I think it got rained off or something, didn't it?
And then never got rearranged, did it?
No.
And these
So,
two, these two for Scunny are back this year, Palmer, for a 3rd straight year.
To be fair, for Jay Callan, this is probably his 5th.
Yeah, he had that season
Um,
at red card, didn't he? And then he's been
Yeah. Come to us
Scotty
in
ever
7.
since.
Come to us in 17. Stayed with us in 18, 19. 20 didn't happen. Then he went to red car, broke my heart. And then he come back in 22 and he's been with us ever since. And now I have the absolute insert explicit word here of working for him. And if you know me, you'll know how much I complained yesterday about how much he made me work.
oh no.
You- Palmer, work? What would you
I
know
know.
about working? Yeah, I've been doing it for the last how many months?
2,
Great.
nearly 3.
2.5.
And yet you've still done more work at home than Alan does when he's at work pressing photocopy.
Wow, that's harsh.
Yes, Alan, you meant to press the copy button, not the
Ooh.
power button. That cooks on his ass.
That was an interesting one. Oh, and this was
I
the
can't-
year Zach raced for Wolves, weren't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it was. It's them red and white covers.
Couldn't really tell what happened there, to be honest. Was Zach had made an absolute belter of a start and not.
Just about a first bin bunching, I
It was
think.
a pretty even start, but I think Connor
Yeah,
clouted him there.
That was
If
definitely
that
an
had
all
been,
fullback.
if that had been anywhere else in the track, Connor would have gone.
Gone
But
for that, yeah.
Because it was the first turn.
Zach looked like he's had extreme diarrhea.
probably has after that.
Upwards.
I just on one side of the butt cheek, one side of the butt, not the other.
Alan's
His
looking at
shit.
Zach's butt.
So if you're on Grinder and you come across Alan, swipe left.
More likely to come across you, Palmer.
I don't use dating apps much.
No, you just use the thing called the dial-up mobile phone.
Dial-up
don't you
mobile
forget it.
phone.
Got the little flip phone where you bring the antenna up and everything.
I don't even
That's
care.
cool.
I cannot be the only one that thinks Richard Lawson looks like Danny from the script.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Jake looks like he's waiting for the bus.
And Dougie looks cold.
When would this have been? September?
Yes.
We had a decent summer in 23 though, didn't we? Carried on fairly late. I mean, there's a few coats and stuff on, but at least they ain't pissing it down with rain.
Some people wearing shorts as well.
No, we normally get the rain in March, April time, don't we?
Yeah, right at the start of the season. I mean, this delay was a bit excessive, wasn't it?
Interesting stat for you there, Jake Allen's mechanic there. A guy called James Cockle used to ride for Scunny in the
James Don
Oh.
Cockle.
God, that's a blast from the past.
used to ride for Scunny in the All Conqueror 2007 Conference League winning year.
In his later years of his career, went to the Isle of Wight to do some meetings.
Is that Adam Roynan in the
Adam
bits?
Roynan spannering for Zach, or helping Zach out. Maybe not so much spannering. This
I mean-
was before it was on BSN.
No,
don't
this
know,
was
I
when
don't know.
he was part of the BSN crew, but he was signed to ride for Poole Pirates this
Yeah,
year.
he was in the Joe replaced, weren't he, when Adam Roynan got injured?
It was.
It's quite what's the word? Adam Roynan gets signed and then all of a sudden gets injured and gets replaced.
Sounds a bit like deja vu from 24 for Oxford, doesn't it?
Yeah, deja vu. Adam Roynan gets signed and then gets injured and has to go back to commentating for BSN.
The
20
hospital will have a
2020
bed with his name on it soon. Reserved for
2020.
Roynan.
Has he got a team in
2025?
25?
Yeah, he's with
Scunthorpe,
Scunny in the
Sheffield.
National League.
No,
The Steelers.
The Steelers.
Palmer, you might
proper-
want to get yourself a hotel bed for Adam Roynan because you're going to need a replacement.
Hospital bed, more like.
Is part of the proper Steelers squad, not this ice hockey club in Sheffield.
Talking of ice hockey, we might be back on Sunday, Palmer.
That we might, because we have got the ice hockey bug now, and my team are away on Sunday, and we might just watch it. We might just bring you some reactions, and then we can tell you how shit they are.
Funny
Or
last
good,
week.
depend. And then the week after that, we can bring you Dill's team, who are a bit shit, versus my team, who are a little bit less shit.
Yeah. Is it MK and
Details.
Swindon Sunday, and then Telford and Swindon
Yeah.
the following Sunday?
That sounds right.
Does, doesn't it?
I don't know.
Al don't understand ice hockey. He barely understands speedway.
He barely understands the alphabet, never mind anything else.
And we've learnt that he can't count, not with glasses.
Oh,
Oh, Al.
he takes some stick, does Al, but it's funny.
You've got to when you're Scottish.
You have got to when you're Scottish. Was Jake
Yeah,
riding
but-
for Leicester in this season as well?
He was, yes. I
So he
do believe he was.
had last season with no Premiership club, didn't he?
And the way things are going, he'll have this season without a Premiership club.
Yeah, he's on that really awkward number anywhere. It's just a bit of an awkward situation, isn't it? We've got two people watching. If you're in the comments, drop us a comment and keep us talking.
Yeah, please. Just as long as you ask me and Dill the questions and not Alan, so we can give you a sensible answer.
Ben Cook
What
made
a
an
game.
absolute...
Oh my God.
Oh!
Oh, that's nasty.
Ouch! That was another bunching, and it was the other Cook down with Jake Allen this time. Jake
I
looks
think
hurt.
Jake Allen's hurt his buttocks.
I think he's got actually hurt his wrist.
That was a front wheel versus a footrest, weren't it?
Yeah, all day long.
Jake took it from both sides there. He had Ben Cook coming from the outside and Zach Cook trying to kill him from the inside.
Look, if Jake Allen wants to take it from both ends, that's his personal lifestyle choice.
Palmer, have you ever seen Simon Lambert run that fast?
Have you ever seen Rob Godfrey smile?
Once.
And did he have wind?
When it got...
There he is.
Was
Mr.
when somebody
Miserable
was
himself.
passing him cash.
Yeah.
It's Mr. Miserable himself, Rod Godfrey.
So I'll do a little bit of skippy in now so we can just catch. They're nice pits. That's a small crowd.
And we're back with the racing.
And we're back with the racing, so that delay would have took us about 20 minutes.
It can't be that cold there. This fella stood there in a t-shirt.
And shorts.
Yeah, but you know, like up in Scotland, there's some rather silly people down in the southern part of the country. Not to name any names.
Well, there'll be a silly person down in the southern part of the country this year when he gets on his plane and goes round a few tracks, weren't there, Al?
Yes, there
Al's
will.
a
Yes.
northern person, mush.
Yeah,
There'll
but
be a
he'll be down in the southern areas.
There'll be a
Wow.
silly northern person in the silly southern parts of England or right about the middle part.
Are you going down to Plymouth to see Winchester?
I looked at it and went,
Nah.
why the fuck am I paying that much to go down and watch that sack of shit?
Remember when Alan wanted to go from Workington to Plymouth in 6 hours? Oh,
Yeah,
what a ball.
I've worked it out now. It's going to cost, but I should be able to do it. Just.
You're not kidding, Al?
And the worst
get a
thing
box.
is, when they were giving out brains, Alan was out of the fucking country.
I do look forward to coming to the Eddie Wright Raceway to see if it's as shit as it looks on the telly.
To be fair, Al,
Be proved wrong.
You won't see much of me either because, you know, if I can get a deal finalised with Mr. Godfrey, I'll be out on the centre green.
Yeah, but I can listen to you. I can go, Palmer!
It's at that point where I want the world to swallow me up because I can't shout fuck off into a microphone.
You can give us a shout out though.
That'll be
Anyway,
a
back
test
to
of your professionalism, won't it, Palmer? We're going to get underway. Oh yes, we are, and of course, Paul got the advantage.
Yeah, about standard. This is where my hopes and dreams crashed.
This was the pairing that screwed it all up. Is this where Jake Allen had an absolute mare after that off?
Come on, Jakey!
Jake's had a few mares at Poole.
Al, I don't know how to tell you this, but this ain't live.
I know, I just wanted to show that anyway.
It's a bit like WWE. It's predetermined. We know what happened.
I know.
Wait, you mean to tell me WWE isn't real and it's all scripted and fake?
Oh shit, have I just ruined WWE for you? Do you still believe in
just
Santa
ruined-
Claus?
I am Santa Claus?
You're fat enough to be Santa Claus.
Oh, and less of the fat comments. You can hardly talk.
Hashtag Fat Lives Matter and all that.
Unless you're Scottish.
That was a boring race, weren't it? Tapes, first turn, race done.
Cook 1, cook 2, done.
At that point, my dreams were shattered.
At this point, Palmer went down for a good cry.
Well, Palmer were at Poole for this one. He was watching on the
Oh,
BSN.
was it?
I went downstairs for a good cry.
Why would he go downstairs for the cry?
I was
Yeah.
watching
Why
this
not?
I was watching this at my old man's.
Yeah, you're having a beer with Dave Wire.
Daddy
Yeah.
Dave.
Shout out to Daddy Dave if he's watching.
And suddenly those points positions, good scoring points positions in first and second heats are coming back to bite Scunny, aren't they?
And it's at this point where you realise that Simon Lambert just got that third place over that ginger knobhead. Would have been in a better position.
I mean, you still lost at home quite comfortably in the end, didn't you? But
Yeah, but we tried to forget about that. That is, to be fair, right? Of all the meetings Scunthorpe's had on BSN, that is the one meeting I have not watched.
I wonder why.
You
And
never know.
I've watched us have a few losses on BSN. I've watched us lose at home to Glasgow on here.
You never know, Palmer. This year might be Scunny's year.
Alan. There's more chance of it being Plymouth's year, and look how crap they are.
But they've got Nikolai Clint.
To be fair, Palmer, the last time Steve Worrell was at Scunny, which was 2015, you won the league, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a bit of a difference,
Oh my
2015
God,
to 2025.
Do you want me to let you into a little secret, Al?
Oh,
What? If I got the year wrong.
2018, Steve Worrell last rode for us, and he broke his leg in the first meeting of the season.
I was going to say he came there after he'd raced for Newcastle the year before. I just remember pictures of him in Newcastle Kevlars with
The best
a
ever
Scunny
team
race
Scuddy'd
jacket
ever.
over.
It was the best team Scuddy'd ever put together.
And Steve got
all,
injured.
All 7 got injured at least once during the season,
My God.
and we still didn't get the wooden spoon. And Glasgow were nowhere near the playoffs.
There's a bit of changey in this one as well. Ablett's no longer in the championship for this season. Joe Thompson is at Plymouth. Mog Palm Toft is no longer in the championship. And Steve Worrell is at Scunny.
I'm surprised no one picked up Ablett.
Somebody was going to, he just didn't want to go to where they were going to have him because of the travel.
He didn't want to go to Berwick and he didn't want to go to Edinburgh, and I can't blame him. And if he didn't want to go to them places, I doubt he'd want to go to somewhere as shite as Glasgow.
I'm just surprised he didn't go somewhere down south.
People have got to fit him in, and it was on a really awkward average because of how well he started the season.
Scunny!
I'm pretty sure he's on like a 5 average.
And
But
with all due respect to Ablett, he's not that good for a 5-point average.
Come on,
I mean, in his 2 years with Scunny, he has progressed massively.
Ablett moved. Was this where helmet could touch without disqualification, or was it an exclusion if the helmet touched?
I can't remember, but there's more roles in that than what a
I
marijuana smoker would do.
I think you might be right, Dell, if the helmet touched.
I think
that
it was.
year?
Yeah, I think it was.
It didn't
no,
matter.
it had to be the bike, didn't it?
Be the
Sure
bike,
it did,
yeah.
Did his
So
front
thank you.
wheel touch though?
Be close.
No.
Nah, just the helmet.
But yeah, that changes a lot, doesn't it? Sometimes it's just the helmet, sometimes it's the rider. So I explaining it was just the helmet, so it should be all 4 back.
Could be, but well, I would say can't remember who the ref was though.
Have a quick look onto updates. Si's a busy fellow on a race night, and he racing himself, running around, helping everybody else.
But he is a very good captain.
He's a very good captain, and he's a D&D Media sponsored rider again this year.
That he is. That is the biggest privilege of his career. Because who doesn't want D&D Media written on your Kevlars?
He's another fella who he's a bit unlucky with the top league, and it's either Kingsland or bust it seems, and they call him when it suits them.
Oh, Jesus. The referee was Gary Allen.
Oh my God, Ablett definitely got excluded for this then.
That's probably why Mr. Happy's just gone storming off in the pits.
It's Harry Potter!
Gary Allen's as useful as a dildo to a nun.
Harry Potter's on the screen.
Well, Alan, a nun is somebody that doesn't ever have sexual intercourse.
I know what it is, Farmer.
I don't think you do, because you're one of them at the minute.
I think he got excluded for... Oh my God.
Looking at that, I think he did.
The referee versus the chairman of the league.
However, this could, if I remember right, I think we brought Drew out as
Mr.
Lee Kilby's
Moan a
just
lot.
said.
He
Which
does
one?
love
Danny Ford or Joe Thompson's dad?
He does love a moan, doesn't he, Danny Potter?
Well, he's part of the big speedway community. Why would he not want a little?
Who's gonna ask? Who's the guy standing? Not Simon, the other one. That was
Palm
standing
Trees Mechanic, maybe?
Yeah. So if you remember a rider called Jordan Palin,
Yeah.
that's his granddad.
God.
Big, ironically called Alan.
And there's a fella you should know, Al, the fella with the hearing aid in there with Stevie Worrell, because he was Leon Flint's mechanic last year.
I did not know that.
Because you
Well,
never go
if
to
you went and
Ashfield.
watched your own team, you'd have known this stuff out. Just saying, pal.
He was Stevie's mechanic, and then Steve obviously got ill, and he linked up with Leon Flint for the rest of the season.
I you say I've never seen such more of a miserable man than Rod Godfrey.
I have. Palmer when Scunny lose. Alan should be used to Glasgow losing, so he don't get miserable anymore. We all know a miserable man when a team lose, and he's probably watching this stream.
Does he go by the name of Daniel and Winchester by any chance?
Absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
You were right, Palmer. Drubert comes in.
Yeah.
Remember that
Whoever
year
did
when you got disqualified if any part of your bike went over the white line? So good job it weren't in for this year, because otherwise Drubert would have been gone as well.
You know, I can't remember them times. But this is part of when you've been watching Speedway for 20 years. Well, 21 years now, actually. This is our 21st season.
Is that how long you've been
21.
watching it? Jesus.
I've been watching it a bit longer, Mosh.
I think I've been watching it.
You've probably been watching it for about 15 minutes.
Crikey.
15 years.
Alan's watched it for longer than I have.
2010, I think, was my first year.
15 years then. 2013 was mine, but 2014 was my first full season into Speedway. So it's only been 11 for me.
And you still know more than Al.
Yeah.
That's not hard. My cat knows more than Al.
And he doesn't even watch Speedway.
Cats are my cat does watch TV though. He was sat watching Police Interceptors with me the other day.
Well, to be fair, sometimes if I'm watching Speedway on the telly, Marley will come and watch it with me.
When you see races like this, you can see why Michael Palmtoft just hasn't got a team in the championship this year.
Yes.
Got two
And we can
people
see why
watching.
Stevie... It's races like this where we can see why Stevie Worrell has.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? This was 2 years ago, and in that time, Steve's gone to the team that won the league this season, Glasgow, and now he's gone to the team they're against in this meeting for this year, Scunny.
Exactly. The life of a British Speedway rider that does out vans.
Now here's the thing, Palmer. Would you want that Steve Worrell or the Steve Worrell of 2024?
The one that got ill halfway through? Well, definitely this one.
No, I mean, like, taking out the fact he got ill before that.
This one, because Steve Worrell was shit last year.
To be honest with you, Al, right? If I'm being completely honest
No,
with
we're
you.
talking about Steve Worrell, not with Charles or James Wright, sorry.
I would rather have the Steve Worrell that's going to turn up in 2025.
Fresh from any injuries, illness, and ready to go and only racing in one league so we can fully focus on the championship.
That's the kind of one, yeah.
And we can do a
The
bit of
Steve-
we can do a bit of skipping now, Palmer.
the Steve Worrell that's going to win the CLRC this year.
Is that if as long as he doesn't break his leg again?
Up with Mr.
With
Race.
Mr. Race, bit far.
There
Here we
we
go.
go.
Hit 5, just like that, as if by magic. Not of the Janowski kind.
So he's crap, otherwise he'd be back in the GPs.
And you got
But
got Cy and Dougie in this one, who turned out to be a very formidable 1 and 2 pairing.
big up Poole for playing the tunes.
Carlito de Poole.
Yeah.
And it's
Legend
a
is Carly.
Scuddy 5-1 off the tapes. Ben Cook straight up the inside of Cy straight around the outside of him. Beautiful stuff.
It was.
Beautiful.
Dougie looked untouchable, didn't he? Especially early on.
It really did.
He's always gone well at Poole, from what I can remember as well. Apart from that meeting in the Riders' Championship that year, where he tangled with Sam Masters and did himself
That was
a
in
bit
the
of damage.
final. That was. Ugh. Yeah, I remember that meeting well. That wasn't pleasant.
Ben Cook is a joy to watch around Wimborne Road, isn't he? I think he's going to do Cy here, though. Now it's gone a bit wide there.
Still another lap to go yet, and you know what Scunthorpe riders are like.
Nah, Cy's got that.
And it's at this point my hope was restored.
Until heat number 6.
Cy's always been a good gator, isn't he? He's generally decent from the tapes.
So it was at this point I remember texting an old friend of mine, because we're certainly not friends at this point.
I wonder who you're talking about.
And I remember texting this person. I said, "Oh my God, we're gonna win the league." I think I probably texted you as well, Dill, saying, "Oh
More
my
than
God,
likely.
Scuddy, you're gonna win the league."
More than
But
likely.
we've talked a lot since then.
So we ain't going to find that.
And
And
you
I,
also got a few text messages back saying, Palmer, don't be silly.
Nah, I probably ignored it. I never replied to texts when I'm watching Speedway.
Never actually meant you, I meant his friend.
Oh, we both know the person he's talking about.
Yeah, we know.
And he's
Well,
a
you
knobhead.
don't. Yeah, he is. Yeah. So if that person's watching, just to keep an eye on what we're doing. Hello, knobhead.
Palmer said he'll fight you.
Oh. Is it no commentary partner by any chance, Palmer?
So at this point, Ben Cook was a bit shit.
And Richard Lawson, he's just got better and better around Poole, hasn't he?
Richard Lawson's almost like a fine wine, and he just gets better. Well, the older he gets, the better he gets.
Bit like Jason Doyle, late bloomer.
Hmm.
Jason Doyle
Doyley.
was one of them, weren't he?
Doyley for World Champion 2025. You heard it here first.
I think he'd have pushed Bartek this year if he hadn't have got injured. He started so well.
He did.
And that's a sore subject, isn't it? That TNT have decided to try and charge us 32 quid to watch the Grand Prix. Bring on dodgy links.
Yeah, Kirkgill, you're going to be busy this year, son.
And the dodgy Amazon sticks.
Yeah, I need to get someone to sort me one out. So if anybody wants to sponsor D&D Media with some dodgy linked fire sticks, then hit us up.
Is it for TNT, did you say?
TNT?
What did you say? You needing...
TNT Sports are the ones who are showing the Grand Prix. Eurosport and TNT have merged together.
I think you can get it on STV Player. I think there's something about that, unless I've got that wrong.
More than
You probably
likely.
got it wrong, Al.
Yeah, more than likely.
You're Scottish, as you called Al.
It's always a lucky dip whether Al's got something right or wrong.
I'm going to Google that.
Go on, Al. You Google it, son. More power to you.
You Google it.
Unless I've got that wrong.
And to be fair, Al ain't going to admit if he's got it wrong either. Once we've got to heat 7, I think they have a break after, don't they? We'll have a quick minute or two just to catch our breath, I think.
That is very, very handy because I am busted for a wee.
Alan's only with us till about 8:15ish, something like that, and then it'll be me and the palm dog for the rest of it.
Woof, woof, fucking woof.
And the crowd goes wild!
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
tree-
to go milder than a chicken korma.
The palm tree made a good start there, but that was about as good as it got.
Yeah, it's about as good as it gets for him, really. And then it's at this point I text that ex-friend saying, "Scrap that, we're not winning the league anymore."
Is he though? I mean, I'm not far away from Birmingham city centre, but I've still got to travel to get there. And
Yeah.
we do enjoy watching BSN meetings. They're always you can see how the production's improved over the years as well, Kyle.
Oh, massively.
And I want to say they released a new logo today.
Yes, they did. And if you ask me, it looks all right.
It does. I think this is a make or break year, especially with the TV deal with now TNT, I suppose, up for renewal or expiration at the end of this season. I think
They could possibly take it off their hands.
I think everything could end up on BSN if they prove that they can, handle it. And I think
You know what,
BSN's been a triumph for British Speedway as well.
That
Oh, it's
wouldn't
been
be
the
a bad
best
thing.
thing. It's been the best thing to happen to British Speedway in a long, long time.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd like to take this opportunity to do what Dill said I wouldn't do, and admit I got it wrong.
Oh no, we're all shocked. We are all shocked.
I got TNT mixed up with Premier Sports.
Jesus, Premiership Sports so Swedish Speedway, don't they?
Yeah, they're doing something to do with STV that you can get it through STV Player apparently.
What's STV Player?
Well,
Scotland
it's
TV.
like ITV, but STV.
So that's absolutely useless to me and Palmer because we don't talk
It's-
funny.
Ironically, STV's Welsh because STV showed the British GP from Cardiff all in Welsh.
Excuse me? STV is Scottish, you.
If they
No.
showed,
It's not.
the
It's a Welsh channel.
I'm going
It's
to
a
Google
Scottish
this.
channel.
Let's have a Google on the internet.
STV is a Scottish media company based in Glasgow, Scotland.
Yeah, Palmer, would you like to take this moment to apologise for your
No.
incorrect...
No, because
I
they
would-
did show the British Grand Prix in Welsh, so we weren't lying.
He was half right then.
I would also like to take this opportunity to apologise to anybody that thought it was Welsh. Bing lied to me.
Yeah, but Bing's useless.
A
I
bad
will
man
use
always
Google.
blames his equipment.
Yeah, I
I
know.
will use.
What
I
are you
will
going to
use
do when you're in
Google.
the centre green job? Say it was the mic's fault.
Yep.
The mic's fault, I dropped an F-bomb.
Say the radio stopped working so I couldn't hear from the pits and said, fuck, I don't know what I'm doing.
Forgets to mute the mic. See that, cunt?
Excuse me, Al, be careful with the C word.
Sorry. You did say we could have swearing.
Not that
We're gonna
word,
get
though.
demonetised now.
Sorry.
Well, it's been
Oh.
a pleasure doing Shoot Some Shale. We're now demonetised for life.
We give somebody a little bit of rope and he tries to run to Edinburgh with it.
I'd like to take this
No,
opportunity
Big
to
Daft.
say
Al doesn't run to his back garden and he lives in a bungalow.
It's true. Can't even say he runs downstairs. He ain't got none. The nice touch of Poole's Kevlars for this year was the fact they had the Ukrainian flag on the shoulder.
that was a nice touch.
Did they?
Yep. Left shoulder had the Ukrainian flag on.
Maybe Glasgow have better Kevlars this season.
The weekend, they can't get any worse than last year's. They were shite.
Yeah, they
With
were
a
shite.
capital S.
With a capital S-H-I-N-T.
Ironically,
They
in this
did
race,
let a child design them.
Honestly, talking of shite, Jake Allen's not very good in even this race either.
just going to say, ironic, we've got 3 current Scunthorpe riders in this race. One of them's winning and the other 2 are shit.
Yeah. There we go,
Oh,
straight round
hey.
Newman like he's
Hey,
standing
round the
still.
outside.
Oh,
I don't know what toiling away means, but he's doing that. Nope, Carl Newman
Yeah.
got wise and moved out wider. And now all of a sudden Jake's putting pressure on Stevie Worrell. Who's
Don't
going to
do
be
that.
his number
Take
one
his
this
job
year?
out.
You reckon Steve will... Oh no, Si will be captain, won't he?
I'd be very surprised if we changed the captaincy
Yeah.
this year.
Best captain in British Speedway. Jake's going for it. Is this the one where Jake screwed it on the last bend? Nope.
Not quite.
Nearly. So that was a Scunny 2025 5-1
Well, at least we know we're all right in Heat 13
at Poole.
at Poole.
Although against Richard Lawson and... Oh, who's their other heat leader? It'll probably be Zach, won't it, this year?
Richard Lawson's that cook, eat you right out.
Louis Kane?
Nah, he
Sorry.
won't be number 5.
It'll get to that point where they'll bring Ben Cook back in it.
Probably, yeah. There will be some riders who have left the British Championship who I think will come back.
Jake Allen back to Scunny.
Jake Allen's already at Scunny, mush.
Sorry. Ryan Douglas.
Oh my!
Scunny.
He's having a mare. He's going to go and play football after, and he'll pull a tennis ball out and hopefully...
I'm having a Western Super.
You're having more than a Western Super. And on that note, I think we'll take a quick breather for a minute.
That sounds like a good idea.
We'll be back in about 2 minutes to be exact.
2 minutes!
And that was an absolutely lovely wee that was had there. So we'll carry on with the action, starting at Heat 8.
To the meeting with a 4-point gap at the moment. Scunthorpe are going to want Lambo and Drew Kemp to do the business here.
Heat number 8.
What a gate by
Oh my
Lambert
God.
there.
And it's a good start there from the rider in blue. Carl Newman fought the Poole Pirates, cutting up the inside.
Drew kept right up the inside.
And the Scorpions out front there. And now Simon Lambert
Enough said.
Go on, Soy.
which is not going to be an easy feat, but he's getting up the inside here and certainly giving the Pirates boys something to think about.
Yeah, Rowie's just Rowie's just faster.
They kind of ganged up on Simon a little bit, the Pirates, while Drew stole the march out.
Drew literally was a flyer in this meeting, weren't he?
This meeting in the cup final, he was epic, yeah. He might have been the best signing we made in 2023.
Size blown it there, just too wide. I remember now, Drew had a stonking night, didn't he, until the very last race of the evening.
Yeah.
But then, to all intents and purposes, if one of the other two heat leaders had stepped up, he wouldn't have been in that race anyway. So,
If one or two others had stepped up, we wouldn't have
been in
needed that last
position,
race.
it's very true, yeah, it's very true. And that's what boggles the mind as to why Drew was never back last year. He obviously made the decision to go to Berwick. I don't know if it was ever in Scunny's plans or not, but obviously teaming up with Stuart Dixon in 2 leagues. Anders Rowe was stuck on the fence.
So Drew was in our plans this year, but unfortunately it was the numbers game where we couldn't quite fit him in. Which is a shame because he had a stellar year with Berwick this year and he's back there next year.
Yeah,
Or this year.
And he's unlucky not to have a top flight team, I think, as well.
He'll get one within due course, I reckon.
Is he still on the Rising Star list? I think he may be, you know.
I'll have a look.
I don't know if they've released the list yet.
SCB. Rising Stars and Unattached Riders. No, there isn't. There's 2024, but not 25.
Yeah, I didn't think they'd released the 25 one yet.
When will that get released?
No idea. Maybe it's on the British Speedway website? I don't think they've released it yet, though, to be honest. Oh, it is. It's on the British Speedway website. Details to follow. It's not on the British Speedway website.
It's not on the...
Oh, hurry up and make those details follow British Speedway
They'll
website.
probably follow around October time when the season's done.
Probably.
Bit
Yeah.
dusty at Poole, innit? Were they having a water shortage or something?
Well, follow about 9 months after this, and they had a little bit too much water on the track.
It's true, yeah.
Did Rod Godfrey cut off the water supply because he
Did
didn't
Rob
let...
Godfrey cut off Gary Allen's hair? Hey up,
No, my auntie
Baldy!
did that.
Baldy!
He only wanted a bowl cut and he ended up with a skinhead. He's got to be one of the most useless referees in British Speedway. He didn't get any better in 24 really either.
Things could only get better in 25. And they can't get much worse.
I have to ask the question, why does Neil Middleditch always wear a stopwatch?
Because then riders won't get timed out on 2 minutes. It's quite smart really. If you just stand there watching the lights, you'll know exactly when 2 minutes is on if you got your own stopwatch.
That is.
And then he can say, oh, well, a rider was late to the tapes because of his, stopwatch or whatever. He'll start at the same time as the referee puts them on, and he'll know if they are to the letter of 2 minutes. Or 1 minute 90, 90 seconds now, 1.5 minutes as he's in the Grand Prix this year.
Yeah, that'll last the meeting.
Yeah,
And
it
then
won't
they'll
last
be
very
like-
long, will it?
And they'll be like, that was a rubbish idea, let's go back to 2 minutes. Because people don't like change.
That's 2 minutes just rolls off the tongue. You know, you're gonna have that idiot fanfare having to go 1 minute, 1 minute 30, 1 minute 30. Clown, sounded like you mate pissed up down the pub.
You could just say 90 seconds fan power news.
Nah, don't have to say.
That just doesn't roll off the tongue.
No. Pity he ain't rolled off a fucking bridge or something.
Well, fan power, if you're watching, please go and roll off a bridge, because we'd have a party.
Drew was a busy boy this night. To be fair, right, Drew had so much potential and he had that much pressure piled on him. You could see that affected his attitude a bit. Obviously, we both know that his attitude wasn't quite right, especially in 2022.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, coming to Scunthorpe in 23 might have been the best thing to happen to him, because he's such a changed character now from what he was.
And
But when you've got...
Is that the season he started without a team as well? So that maybe gave him that
Yeah.
reality check. But I know it was a nightmare at Wolves in 22, and we all saw what happened when Poole famously won the league title at Kings Lynn, and they were all out celebrating, and Drew wasn't, because he'd had a crap night personally.
Yeah, but I think, you know, when you're working with someone like Dougie and Simon Lambert, it is going to help you out a bit.
And he definitely seems a bit more... There's not as much pressure on him, is there?
No. But I won't be against Drew coming back to Scunny for another season.
I was buzzing
he
when he
can-
signed for Wolves in 22, and it was just a bit disappointing, because he had so much potential about him. Like how Luke Littler is in darts now, that was like what Drew Kemp was viewed as the next big thing for British Speedway.
I mean, to be fair, I'd compare Luke Littler with Kyle Bickley. Winning absolutely everything at a young age, and then when it gets to an adult age, it goes to shit.
Well, he got himself banned from something, did he not, Luke Littler?
Don't know. We're not talking about darts anyway.
Alright, it's
Solid
just you
shots.
mentioned it.
It was just a comparison.
Alright, sorry.
But now William Cairns has almost taken that next big thing. Let's hope that it don't affect him like I think it
don't-
affected Drew.
I don't think it'll affect Will Cairns as much, to be honest. He's a very level-headed character.
And it's quite ironic we're watching Poole and talk about Will Cairns, because he becomes a Poole rider from June the 29th.
That he does, day before my nan's birthday. That was a great gate from Zach Cook there.
He's quite good from the traps, and Drew's riding a good race to keep Ben Cook behind him.
And Tofty's just doing Tofty things.
What, being shit?
As you can see,
Well, we can.
doing Tofty things.
Yeah, we
well,
can.
yeah. Maybe Tofty should go to Plymouth again.
That went well last time, didn't it?
Yeah.
I can't remember if Drew held on here, but this is some effort from the number 6 against Ben Cook, who last season was pretty much unbeatable. I know this is obviously the year before, but you know, mere months later, it was nigh on untouchable around
It
Wimbledon Road.
was. How times have changed, eh?
Brilliant ride from Drew.
Brilliant, that.
That was a one more lap and he'd have been through, but there wasn't. And well, this start Marshall, there could have been.
Well,
He
yeah,
could
there
have
is
counted
that.
to 4 in the first one. And anyone that's watching that likes this sort of thing, sometimes this season we'll be doing these kind of watch-alongs where we just react to what's going on the screen, and sometimes we'll do commentary. The plan
Yeah, we
was
will, yeah.
the plan was to do commentary on all the Eurosport meetings, but TNT and Discovery got greedy and have ruined that now.
So if there's any dodgy links going, hit us up.
I mean, we've got a few between us.
Well, yeah.
See, even Ian Brennan, if they only had 5 laps, a bit like Heat 1.
Quote of the season, that.
And to
Not
be
like
fair,
Paul to try and cheat to win.
no, he didn't work in the final, did he?
No, the Knockout Cup.
No, the Knockout Cup. Yeah, this was a brilliant season for Paul up until when it counted.
It's almost like Paul's 2023 season with Scunthorpe's 2024 season.
Yeah.
The wheels just come falling off at the wrong time.
Peaked a bit early, a little bit like Leicester did in the Premiership as well.
And to be fair, when you mention Leicester, the same could be said for this specific year as well. Because they peaked, and then I'm sure it was a meeting on BSN where Leicester had to get 30-something
It was
points
an
in a meeting
Ipswich,
at
weren't it? And
Peterborough.
yeah, was it Peterborough?
Peterborough.
Yeah, and Peterborough knocked them out. They couldn't make the playoffs, could they? And yeah, I remember that now. What did I think? Ipswich? Was it Ipswich who got in instead of Leicester?
It was Ipswich that got in, yeah.
I knew there was a reason Ipswich came to mind. I remember this race because this is the only race of the entire meeting that Ryan Douglas was beaten. If you're going to play a tactical substitute, you don't put it against Richard Lawson at Poole. You just don't do it.
No, you don't.
And that's why Rob Godfrey is not a team manager, because that's a really silly thing to do. Al, are you dead?
No, I'm alive.
I was just watching the Speedway.
It's just watching the Speedway.
Has anyone told Jake Allen he looks like a dickhead with them glasses on in that picture?
It's alright. Oh wait, the 2025 one.
I mean, if there was a kick clash in Speedway, I think there'd have been a kick clash here.
Yeah, between us, Poole and Oxford, yeah?
Yeah. A lot of blue in, and Edinburgh as well. A lot of blue in the championship.
And Edinburgh.
And Workington.
And Workington.
They got white as well, but there's a lot of blue. I think, and then you had the Poole and Workington clash this year. Or last year now.
What colour did Plymouth wear?
Yellow and...
Blue and yellow.
Yeah, that. But mainly yellow.
With quite a bit of brown attached to it.
What for shit?
Yeah. That was a great gate from Jake Allen.
That was a really bad gate from Dougie. Oh no, I remember this one. I remember this race. It was a great gate and it goes to shit, don't it? Because Richard Lawson wins it and Dougie comes second.
Looking at this, yeah.
It was Dougie's only drop point.
All season long up until the Championship Cup final. If I remember right,
Jake Allen's doing Dougie no bloody favours there, is he? Christ.
No.
Yeah, between the two Scuddy boys looking at this. Dougie sat there thinking...
Jake Allen just looked up and saw the word Douglas in front of him, he might have helped him out a bit.
Yeah, Dougie thinking, who needs opposition with teammates like that? Fucking hell. Lawson's buzzing he ended Dougie's max, especially with Dougie beating him in Heat 1, which, let's be honest, does not happen very often.
Well, I mean, obviously we know the final result of this. It almost, after that, makes that final result that much better.
Yeah. Look at the little wavy inflatable people. It looks like Bailey's old entrance in WWE. If you know, you know.
Well, Carlito's not afraid to play WWE music at Speedway events.
The wacky wavy inflatable tube men that she took an axe to and murdered.
What had them poor wavy inflatable wavy men done to deserve that?
Who said they were men? There might be women, microwaves, toasters, ovens, or anything else in between.
Or bathtubs.
All that.
Well, on that note, I'm going to do something for the stream and I'm going to say, bid you guys a farewell.
Go on then, now, fuck off.
Don't get injured at football, Al.
I'll try my best.
Thanks. What, to get injured or to not?
To not get injured.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's not as if I can get injured when the rest of the team...
Well, if you need some crutches, I'll give you a shout.
Because you can't have Palmers, he needs them.
Enjoy.
Yeah. Try.
In a bit, folks.
And now the devil is gone and we can enjoy this for what it is.
It was okay. He was alright. Oh, he has left. Imagine leaving a Speedway stream to go and watch football. We got 2 viewers, I imagine Dan Winchester's the other one. He does like to watch and listen to us talk. I mean, I
Don't know
wouldn't.
why.
We don't talk a lot of sense, like.
I mean, I watch our streams back, but that's just to help me go to sleep at night.
6 points at the moment. I'm not sure Neil Middleditch will be overly happy with 6 points. We're looking to.
He'll be even less happy at the final score then, mate.
Yes, he will.
Was this the season where Poole won at Scunny in every meeting?
Bar in the cup final.
Bar in the cup final.
Mm.
It would have been absolutely criminal if Scunny had have ended this season with nothing. Interesting note, Dougie's sponsor on his bike there, Tubbsy Tubbs. She died the other week, which is unfortunate, but she did sponsor a lot of Speedway riders, gave them sweets and all that stuff. So
Yeah, I do fondly now remember her name being on Kyle Hour's stuff as well.
Yeah, it was. I remember seeing her around the pits at Wolves a few times as well. She always came in with sweeties. Nice woman, actually.
Well, she's going to be a nice woman if she's giving out sweeties.
Yeah, and sponsored, a few riders.
Still got 3 heats to go over at Oxford in Group B in the playoffs.
Oxford were racing on this night as well.
Tigers 34 with 3 heats to go there. Chris Harris unbeaten
Boo.
tonight.
Ooh.
So
We've gone up to 3 viewers now, Palmer. We're doing well.
3?
3.
Vadim Tarasenko's got 8.
Oh, that was when Vadim Tarasenko was riding for the Ouija's.
Vaddy the Baddie.
Vladdy the Baddie. That's where I got that name off the new RAF programme on Channel 4. Somebody called Putin Vladdy the Baddie, and it just stuck.
How'd you do? Oh my god, Rob Godfrey's getting his hands dirty.
He's only
You
putting
don't
the
see
fuel
that
cap on.
You don't see that every day of the week.
And that's something you wouldn't have seen at points as well. Drew Kemp helping out around the pits. He used to very much be focused on his own thing, and like we said earlier, he definitely had an attitude change here at Scunny, and he's definitely more of a team man here.
But then again, when you're working with a bunch of team guys, it's going to rub off, innit?
Yeah, and he's not a bad kid. He's a relatively nice chap.
He is. I've never had a problem with him. He's always been pretty cool with me.
Were we weren't on size bike this year, were we?
Not in 23. He was in 24 and we will be in
24,
25.
25, yeah.
And 26, I'm going for main sponsor.
Is that the aim?
So yeah, and we're having the fork cover.
Steve, is that
26.
Steve Worrell's dad? Is mechanic there?
No. It's a guy called Richard Gilbert.
I knew the fella. He'd done it for a few years. He didn't do it last year now.
Now, I think he's based down south.
Ah, okay. Makes sense.
And ironically here, the Scunthorpe #1 mechanic, now the Scunthorpe team manager.
David Howe, yeah.
And
Interesting
a
looking
decent
race.
team manager.
This was Wolves at the time, off gates 1 and 2.
This is currently Scunthorpe gates 1, 2 and 3 and Kyle Newman.
Scunthorpe past #1 versus Scunthorpe present #1. It is nice to watch me. Like, obviously, we wouldn't have the same. We know the result of this, but we don't know the racing and stuff. We've had an entire year since then to now, or year and a half to be exact.
It is nice just to look back at meetings like this, and there'll be another one coming possibly on Monday. Keep an eye out on our socials for the details. But that was some gate from Dougie.
Dougie fancied that, didn't he? He just gave Steve the heave-ho and Cy getting ahead of Mr. Newman. And that inside line had just gone off a little bit there, hadn't it?
It had, yeah. And good defensive ride there from Cy to keep him ahead of Newman for at least the back straight.
Yeah, because Carl's definitely quicker than Cy.
Oh, 100%.
So yeah, there will be a mix of these sort of things this year coming up now. Sometimes we'll do commentary like we usually do on Watch Along. Sometimes we'll do, as we call it, a Speedway Goggle Box, where we just sit and react to what's happening on the screen. It'll just be a mix of things. Alan will probably be around sometimes. Callum will be around sometimes, and it'll be a mix of Premiership, Championship, National League, and the occasional national trophy meeting as well. Obviously, to keep an eye on Ingram.
That is very, very true.
It's very dusty at this point there.
Dust at a Speedway meeting? Never!
You get a lot of it at Poole, don't you? They're still going. They finished the race about 30 seconds ago. Still coming up.
In fairness, though, to that one, Dougie there just ruined Stevie Worrell's maximum.
Richard Lawson ruined Dougie's, Dougie ruined Steve's, and he ruined Richard Lawson's in the first race. So no maximums to give out.
No, that's a shame. But it is how it is.
It's a really smart move there by side, just to chop
Was.
Carl Newman's nose off there.
Yes, I knew what he was doing. He knew what he had to do, and he did it.
I do think if there's any team changes in the Premiership, Si will be a rider, especially if he rides like he did. He had a breakout year last year, I think it's fair to say, for Scunny. So if he can back that up, but he's just on that unfortunate, relatively
On that average.
inflated average in the Premiership because of a really good second half of the 23 season at Kings Lynn.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like the Simon but we saw last year, you wouldn't have figured he was ill for half the year, would you? So,
Do you want to skip this track grade?
yeah.
Yeah, the next stream that we do will probably be on a rewatch along on Monday. And it'll be Glasgow versus somebody, because Monday is one of the only days we have Alan available now, and we can't watch the wages without Alan.
Keep an eye on the D&D Facebook page. I'm sure we will be in big discussions of this tomorrow.
Probably. We ain't got nothing else to do, have we? So, yeah, probably.
Oh no, we'll be on the chinwag at 10 in the morning.
Ben Cook had an unusually bad, well, not bad, disappointing meeting by his standards, because he's
Yeah.
it's unusual to see him get beat. I know this is the year before, but you know he still took to Poole really, really well.
Oh, massively.
Connor Mountain would have been so cold in this race, having been took out of the other race for Duggan.
Yeah.
And with all due respect to Drew, but
Yeah, very interesting race coming up.
yeah, two riders on nothing. Drew Kemp absolutely flying, and Ben Cook, who you'd expect to win this race on paper anyway. Nobody cares.
What the bloody hell was that here, Brannon?
Nobody cares about Danny Ford.
Not even Matt, and that's his dad.
Matt's got his chateau in Francais.
Oh yeah, it's very nice, very posh. I've been told it's a very nice place.
Then he take all his riders to Vegas as well after the season was done.
Danny Ford did this season, yeah.
This year, yeah. Well, last year.
But, you know, same thing.
All the years just blend into one at this point. Since COVID, I don't feel like we've had years, we've just had days.
You're telling me I've been off work injured for quite a while, and all the days just feel like one. Apart from Friday, because that's when I go do my food shopping.
And you get your little mobility scooter.
Yes. You know
You heard from the hospital yet, or you still waiting?
They've got my referral.
Well, we're getting somewhere. It's only took 3 weeks. What did they send it by? Carrier pigeon?
So no doubt I'll hear from the hospital in about 7 working years.
Drew made another flyer there.
That was a great gate from Drew, but Ben Cook was just better.
Scunny boys are racing each other. Drew did Connor Martin absolutely no favours there. And Joe Thompson's clearing them both up. Joe just clearing them both up. Drew screwed Connor over. Joe said, "Thank you very much, I'll have you." Both back past him now, but he had a bit of hope.
Joe Thompson that was.
And that is why we released Joe and signed Drew.
From fourth to second, back to fourth again. Connor Mountain now in second place.
Well, BSN should just give us a commentary job. It's just saying what we've just said, but like seconds after.
And Joe had a. To be fair, Joe was brilliant in 24. There was most Heat 2s, especially at Plymouth, he won, but most Heat 2s in general he won.
But he had a whole year at reserve.
That's true, yeah, and finished on
This
a over 5 point average.
this year is a heat
He'll be
leader.
in the main body, yeah. Same area average as Ben Barker in it.
What a ride from Joe Thompson.
Oh, to be fair, knowing Matt Phillips, I won't be surprised if he puts Joe Thompson at number 5.
Imagine.
I don't think we'll have to.
Okay, the result of hit number 12, then Ben Cook with the win. Connor Mountain and Drew Kemp in second and third.
Before that race, you'd have got long odds on anything other than that result, wouldn't you?
Pretty much, yeah.
Ugh. But from this point on, Scunny win the rest of the meeting, points-wise at least.
Yeah, we do.
11
Don't know how,
po-
but we
11
do.
points to 7 in Scunny's favour in the last 3 races.
Yeah, don't quite know how we did it, but we did.
Ryan Douglas, having him in 2 of them races helps.
Well, yeah, there is that, to be fair.
And Drew going how he's going, he definitely did. It's got Drew winning 14 written all over it, ain't it? I can't remember what happens, but
No, because Ablett's only had 2 rides.
was Ablett got to have? Oh, that's where replacing him in his first one or second one comes back to haunt Paul. Robert
he
Godfrey,
touched
doesn't
the,
it?
he touched the tapes in Heat 4 and was replaced by Kemp.
Yeah, so he'd only had 1 ride up until that point, hadn't he? And then he's had another
Yeah.
ride. That's why you just go
And then-
3 riders only or whack them off 15, give them the second ride. If Drew had gone in 14, maybe he comes in to
Like it-
replace Jake Allen, but I'd be very surprised. I can't remember if he did or not.
I can't really remember. I only watched this battle the other day.
But yeah, that's why sometimes it's better to just whack them off 15 or
Oh no, we put Ablett in 8-13.
for the palm tree.
Yeah.
Talk about throwing him
Yes.
to the wolves. To be fair, Palmtoft wasn't very good in this meeting, was he? This
He's
should have
just
been
not
this
very
should have
good
been a
at
sign of
ball.
things to come because he got replaced in 13 in 2024 as well.
It's 3 different occasions from the last 3 home meetings.
Ablett absolutely thrown to the wolves, and a lot of pressure on Dougie to win this because, with all due respect to Ablett, that was the only way this was being shared at the very best for Scunner.
Yeah, 100%.
T-shirt coming soon.
Yeah. Designs are underway.
And if you haven't looked,
says.
we've got a website to look at now, which will be updated
Yeah.
soon with all of our 2025 projects. But yeah, we've got a website to look at now. The link
Yeah,
is
we
on
have.
our page. I don't know what it is off the top of my head.
I'll have a look. But I think it's something like D&D Media at Weebly.com or something like that.
It's D&D Media Speedway.
That's the
Oh, okay.
email, isn't it? If you want to email us, by all means, please do, because we don't really get many emails.
Although we did have...
D&D
Carry on.
D&D Media Designs.weebly.com.
We did have a pretty interesting email the other night, though, which hopefully we'll be able to elaborate on in due course.
Hopefully.
Ironically, about the rider that's leading this race's testimonial.
Yeah, correct, Amundo.
That's obviously coming up. There won't be a watch along or anything to that because Palmer's going.
So if you do see me, please feel free to buy me a beer. I will be very, very grateful and say thank you.
It's a good looking lineup for that as well, and to be fair, Dougie deserves it. I'm still surprised it's not at Scunny though.
I know. I'd have liked to have seen it at Scunny, but it is how it is. Maybe he can have his second testimonial in 20 years' time there. Oh,
And
British Speedway, it's still got to be a thing in 20 years'
he's
time.
absolutely pocketed Richard Lawson on his own track in a heat that he notoriously does wins, let's be honest.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I've seen Richard Lawson beaten twice, and there's another probably one to come as well, around his home track in a season, let alone in a meeting.
In one meeting, yeah? It's mad.
And it just shows that this year Dougie was absolutely head and shoulders above everybody else.
He was. I do kind of wish, like, we could just turn back the clock and go back to 23, because that was some year.
And it does show that it was the right time for him to leave. He absolutely killed it in Poland last year as well, despite some injuries. He was fantastic in Poland, which was ultimately what he dropped championship racing for, regular time in Poland.
Yeah, he did the sensible thing. I mean, you could decide to stay in the championship like certain riders have done for very easy money, or be like Dougie and progress your career, and
Jump out of that
fair play
comfort
to him.
zone, innit? Because he could stay in the championship and get 15-point maximums every week and get paid a pocket full. But if he's against weaker
I mean,
opposition than he'd be facing overseas, then what's the point?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Selfishly, I do hope that he would have done that, but it is how it is. Because I don't think they'd have gone anywhere else in the championship. To be fair.
Yeah, I think it'd have been one of those rare occasions where somebody turned Poole down if they came knocking, but I don't think they would have, because not with Richard Lawson there.
No.
Drew Kemp in 14, who saw that coming? Oh, hang on. Everybody after Ablett got sacrificed in 13, to be fair. Jake's changed his bike colours this year as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he changed them the year after this one as well.
He had the same sort of colours of blue and orange though, didn't he?
Yeah, there was very similar, but they're a bit different this year, apparently the blue and yellow.
To match the Scunny Kevies.
So talk about a team, man.
Let's hope he doesn't go to Bellevue and need red and white ones as well.
I am not doing in red and white graphics. Jake, if you're listening, no. Go to Sheffield so I don't have to change your graphics. Never forget the War in Sheffield, signed Jake Allen.
We'll leave this to play through till the end now. There ain't that long left, is there?
There isn't a great deal left.
We'll watch the interviews and 15 and all of that stuff. We may as well.
We may as well.
And we've been live for just under an hour and a half, so we ain't done too bad really.
That's not too shabby.
There'll be another one of these probably Monday. There's a bit of hockey on. What's going on now?
Tips went up to try and give Poole an advantage, and it hasn't worked. Who's sending me a message now?
Was this when they were Drew being told something?
Who knows?
Is this where the ref had a mare because he hadn't noted that Ablett had won in 13?
Probably.
What happened in this? Can you quickly check to updates?
I'm going to have a look, yeah. Let me have a butchers.
Is this where the ref had a mare because he had? I'm sure he hadn't written down that Ablett had gone in 13. He has though. He went in 13.
Yes. He's had 4. Well, 3.
So he's had enough.
Right, what race are we on? 8:14. It doesn't say anything on the updates.
Who raced in it?
8:14. It ended up with Zach Cook in red, Kyle Newman in blue, Jake Allen in white, and Drew Kemp in yellow.
So the ref had a mare because Gary Allen is absolutely fucking useless.
Yes.
He hadn't noted down Ablett in 13, had he? Absolute muppet.
No.
But he's had 3 rides, so what's...
Because Gary Allen, referee.
He's absolutely useless, isn't he?
He's a bit of a cake knobhead.
Did he ref this year as well? Last year? He's an absolute dickhead, isn't he, Gary Allen?
Yeah, pretty much.
The result of this race, Kemp was in it. It was a
Yeah, he
scunny,
was.
It was a scunny 5-1.
Oh, now you've ruined it.
I mean, to be fair, everybody saw that coming. So now Ablett comes back out. Oh no, Drew's on Ablett's bike now.
This
That's
is
even
Drew on
more
Ablett.
impressive. Gary Allen making a meeting all about him, the ball cretin.
Yes.
We've had a 5-lap heat. We've had a rider that's had 3 rides that then was ineligible to come in. My God. Gary Allen couldn't fucking ref a piss up in a brewery.
No, he couldn't even ref a scripted fight.
Then you talk about Allen not being able to count. That knobhead had his shoes and socks off to count that Ablett had 3 rides.
I think it's safe to say this Gary Allen's account without the O.
Yeah. Well, Gary Allen ain't here all week, the cretin. That was a beautiful gate from the Scunny boys though, weren't it? My life.
Jake Allen,
Too beautiful apparently.
Jake Allen, to be fair, got confused with a marijuana cigarette and got caught rolling.
I don't think he moved though.
I think he did. He just jumped a little bit.
Had Danny Ford been up and paid off the referee at this point?
Or paid Nathan Ablett, one or the other. Or both. Yeah, Jake moved a tad. Almost a perfect start. Thomas Jorgensen would have been proud of that.
Tommy the Gun.
Godfrey giving Jake Allen a bollocking.
Nah, that's perfect. There's
That's
nothing
perfect
wrong with
start,
that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. He's got a replay, so what? He could have let the race run and then watched it. Oh, Christ.
He's got a replay available, so we'll have seen that Nathan Ablett and Michael Pabtoff have both had 3 rides.
Absolute clown shoes.
Oh, he's had a bit more than just the normal mare.
His mum had a mare the night he was fucking created. Jesus.
Should have been wiped on the curtains.
Something like that. How do you get it so wrong? This man's in charge of refereeing. I wouldn't put him in charge of watching my dog, and I ain't even got one. It was clean the first time.
Right.
Beautiful by Drubert.
Beautiful, that. Lovely.
Whoosh! The poor boys nearly took each other out.
Nathan Ablett's bikes never look so fast.
The only thing that clown in the box did was fire Scunny up at this point, weren't it?
Yeah.
That's all clown features in the box did.
Yeah, certainly did. I think we had this same referee actually for the cup final a couple of weeks after. We have a
Shock.
butchers. Let's have a butchers.
If I was Drew, I'd be shitting myself at this point because there's smoke coming out the back of Ablett's bike.
No, the ref for the cup final was much worse.
Who was it?
The Trunchbull.
So, I can't say anything bad about her. She's always been fine with me. I know she had a mare last year at Leicester, but as a person, she's always been sound. And Ablett's bikes just gave up on Drew.
Talk about perfect timing.
That could be terminal for Ablett, but Drew's like, fuck it, we'll take it for the lap of honour anyway. Drew will give the Poole fans a salute now for the cheering at the start of the race.
Oh, of course. I'd do the same.
And obviously all of this was pointless because Poole ultimately went on to win at Scunny anyway. But
It was, but obviously with this one being the first leg, obviously,
there was hope.
obviously
At this
at
point,
the
you were
time
like,
there was-
we're going to win the league again. It's
there
back
was a
on.
lot. There was a lot of hope,
Yeah.
and it's. Oh, I do miss the 23 days. I wish it'd come back.
Newman made a perfect start and then Jake just takes him to the middle of the track. Drew says, thank you very much. And it's as she were.
Yeah, we just wanted her to prove a point there to Gary Allen, or 5.
Yeah. What, there's an idiot.
That's point number 1. Got another 4 to think of yet.
That his mum should have swallowed.
Yeah. Shiny lights make you blind when you're bald. No disrespect to any baldies watching.
I mean,
Don't put the light.
to be fair, we ain't far off.
Don't put the light on and shine it right where your head is. Oxford have beaten Glasgow by 10 points at this point on this day.
Well, we know who won the league, so they couldn't hold on to that, could they?
Well, no, but Oxford are a sack of shit.
I will be interested to see how Oxford go this year. Obviously, no Scott Nichols for the first time since their return to the British Speedway fold.
And to be fair, the only chance, if you ask me, Oxford have of any silverware is in the National League.
Richard Lawson just chilling out, having the time of his life.
I can't fault him. Danny Ford swiping on Tinder.
He's just sent the referee's paycheck because he tried, bless him.
Tried.
Clown.
You'll leave my boss alone.
I meant the ref.
Oh, you was on about Gary Allen, not him.
Yeah. Size sat there thinking, how did this idiot get a job?
No, Rob Godfrey is very much a Marmite character. You either love the guy or you hate the guy.
And to be fair, Ablett was very much a team man during his time, weren't he? Like, he lent Drew his bike there and, you know, took the sacrifice of going in 13, knowing he weren't going to score unless Stevie or Lawson had broke down.
Yeah, 100%, you know, and he come on massively though the year after was Scunny, and it is genuinely a shame to see him without a team place.
Yeah. I think, is he in the National League? He's in it.
With
Is it East?
Kent, I want to say.
Kent.
Oh,
Yeah, Eastbourne's Kent team. And
Kent Eagles, or whatever they're called now.
yeah.
Neil Middleditch looks like he's about to shit himself because his team are going to get battered
But they don't.
just in a couple of weeks' time. Oh my God, Godfrey's smiling.
He's having a laugh at the ref's expense.
Stop the world and run.
Oh, look at his face. You're a less noncy Cammy Brown. Less noncy Cammy Brown. And to be fair, considering Conor Martin only got 2 points and Ablett only got 1, Drew stepping up, Dougie gained 17 of a possible 18.
And to be fair, Jake Allen probably had his best meeting here at Poole, well, all of his career.
Yeah. and the ref trying to outpull where he can as well.
And that it. Can you remember? This is going back to our WWE days now, where
To
where they did a. It was a Royal Rumble, and they just bigged it up as one versus all. I think it was the one where Roman Reigns went in as
when
the
he was
champion.
champion, yeah, was that 2016? AJ Styles
16, I
debut,
think.
yeah, AJ's debut, yeah.
This meeting, from a Scunthorpe perspective,
Was
literally
literally
felt
that.
like it was that. Yeah,
One team versus all.
exactly.
I think this would have been a fitting final, though.
I mean, it would have been, but
Was this where Poole got to choose for finishing top, or was it?
so this was when it was 2 groups of 3 because we had 6 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I want to say it was first versus 3rd and 5th, and then
2,
the
4
others,
and
and
6.
we was in a group with Poole and Edinburgh. And to no surprise, Edinburgh got smashed in all
All of them, yeah.
4 of their meetings.
Yeah. I
So
do
the
remember
Scunny
that.
and Poole meetings really was the decider of the group, and it's just what happened at Scunny that did it.
Yeah, there could really be no complaints from a Scunny perspective, could there? For all intents and purposes, you'd done the hard job of going away and coming away with, well, spoiler, a draw. Even though you lost to Superheat, that matters absolutely nothing in the context of things.
No, it was just one of them. I think obviously having the draw here fired Poole up more to come and do a job at Scunny, and
Yeah.
they did it.
And they had riders. This was the year Zach obviously raced for Wolves, so I know he had a few meetings at Scunny for and against Scunny for guest rides.
Yes.
So he knew that track as well as any of the Scunny riders. Richard Lawson always goes well everywhere, to be honest.
If you see Richard Lawson have a bad meeting where he scores less than 10, you know he's had a bad night. Although he looks really, really weird in that picture. He's definitely aged for the better since then.
Looks like he's got younger, doesn't he? Not old.
Not older.
Although he did have a funny haircut in this period of time.
He did. He was going back to his 2010 style look, or as I also like to call it, the Nana June look.
Still got 3 people watching us, so we mustn't be that boring.
We can't be that crap.
And it's nice just for us to get back into the swing of things of watching Speedway and talking about Speedway together, because we've got to get used to it, ready for the new season.
That we have, and it'll soon be here.
Beautiful gate from Duggar.
We did. Lovely gate, that.
Beautiful cutback from Jake as well. Just wasn't happening there, was it?
Just a shame Jake was a bit crap this race. And Steve Worrell thought, I'm going to win this one. Dougie says, no, you can fuck off, pal.
Filled him in, didn't he?
Proper.
Like you with donuts down your trap.
Yes, don't you forget it.
Everyone loves donuts.
Yes, we do.
I don't understand why they did the superheat in this. It mattered. It didn't.
It didn't matter anyway, did it?
It did not matter, did it? What was the point?
But yeah, the overall context of it was
A draw?
it finished a draw.
Just a waste of time, really. Poole took the advantage, but they still went to Scunny 45 all. So, what would it have been if it had gone to a draw at Scunny? There'd have had to have been another superheat. If Scunny had won that, then you'd be tied on superheats as well. So it just gets messy.
Then you have a super heat to determine the winners.
Yeah. Stick all fucking 14 riders on the track and hope for the best.
I think that's how Speedway should be run.
16-lap final to settle a draw. Or, magic, brilliant idea. Just have a fucking draw. Just have a draw.
Jake Allen fourth. It's a 3-3. It's 5-all here at Wimborne Road after 15 heats. And the only way to settle it is through a
So if you're a Mildenhall supporter, it has just been confirmed that they've applied to the company's house, and they expect a response from company's house by Friday. So that you could have some racing at Mildenhall this year.
Be good to. Oh, Jake Allen, I think, was over the white line on the inside there. Don't really matter who's last, but I think
Don't
his
really
back,
matter.
I think his back wheel went over the white line on the inside, exiting two.
Yeah, I reckon you're right.
Another mare that Gary Allen had, but we won't talk about him.
No, we've heard enough of him for today.
It's bad when the referee's the talking point of a meeting.
Yeah.
And it was a really entertaining meeting, this. I've enjoyed watching this back.
It's been nice just to go back and just watch something back again that
It's a
brought
year
you
and a
all
half
these-
old, so obviously you said you've watched it the other week, like, but I haven't watched this since it was live.
It's nice just to watch meetings back like this, and it just, like, from a Scunny perspective, this meeting particular, texting every Tom, Dick and Harry, probably putting Facebook and Twitter statuses out saying,
We're going to win the
"Oh
league,
my
we're not going to win
God,
the
we're gonna
league.
win the-"
We're going to win the league again. It's off again, boys. It's back on again, boys.
Yeah, exactly, but
And we're going to be wrapped up by 9 o'clock. And we've got a blue groove at Poole.
Blue Groove at Poole?
No.
Never!
No.
Do you want to watch this next bit, or do you just want me to skip it to the Super 8?
Just skip it to the Super 8.
Let's just skip it to the Super 8.
Well, we're halfway through the bloody Super 8. There we go, Super 8.
There we go.
This was harsh on
Luke.
Drew. He got thrown into a position that he shouldn't have ultimately been in.
And this is a question that Rob Godfrey still gets asked now. Should Drew Kemp have gone in Heat 15 over Jake Allen?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
would he have beaten Worrell or Lawson?
I think he'd have been closer to it than Jake Allen was, with all due respect to Jake. I think this is where Lawson gets one over Dougie, innit? Or was it
And probably Steve Worrell as well.
Nah, Dougie
Both.
finished. I think Dougie finished second. It was a 6-3 to Poole.
Was
I
it?
think.
I'll be honest, I can't remember this.
Or was it a 5-4? Because Dougie's leading again. I don't know. It just says Super Heat won, Super Heat lost on updates.
Yeah.
You have to feel for Drew here. He's against two very experienced riders in Lawson and Stevie that no team riding did. That was all they needed. I think it was a 6-3. I'm sure Lawson got past Dougie.
I can't remember. But, in fact, now watching this back, I'm just there. I have my programme in front of my head, and I'm just saying, please, for fuck's sake, one of you two twats break down.
There's nothing that Drew or Dougie could have done for Drew here. See, now Dougie
Nothing.
slowed down to try and slow Stevie down to out Drew. He just weren't close enough. Dougie went into team
Just-
riding
No.
mode. So I just said that, Mr. Kilby. I don't understand what they were cheering for. They won on the night, but they still only took 45 points, the same as Scuddy. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Right, if it's just your bog standard league meeting and you want a winner and that, fair play. But in a two-legged affair like
There was
this,
no
it
need,
is
was
not
there?
needed.
There was just no
No.
fucking need.
You only need a super heat in a two-legged tie if it's equal at the end of both legs, not
Alright.
equal at the end of one.
Ironically, there's no... oh, hang on, I'm looking at the wrong gear. That's why. The result of the second leg at Scunthorpe was 40 points to Scunny and 50 to Poole with an 85-95 aggregate win. Dougie again, phenomenal. Drew not so good, but Dougie really had no backup, did he?
If I remember right, I think Drew had a bit of an off
Well,
in one of his rides at
oh,
Scunny, but
could this have been the one that Anders rode with Drew in? No. quickly run through the scores from the second leg in case anyone's interested. Dougie got 15, Connor Mountain got 4, Simon Lambert 6 and 1, Jake Allen 5 and 1. Michael Palmtoft started with 2 wins and then scored absolutely sod all in his last 2 rides. Drew Kemp 4 and 1 and Nathan Ablett 0. Richard Lawson got 11. Anders Rowe was excluded in his first one after a fall and subsequently withdrew. Ben Cook got 7, Zach Cook 8 plus 2, Steve Worrell got paid 13 on the track he now calls home this year. Carl Newman 5 plus 1, and a little bit like this first leg, Joe Thompson went back to Scunny to haunt Scunny, scoring paid 10 from 6 rides.
That was it. I remember now.
Yeah, Joe essentially won that for Poole, didn't he? He stepped up when Anders got injured.
100%. Yeah. Still doesn't change my mind. I still don't want to watch it back.
No, I wouldn't either. It's been nice to watch this back. Hopefully we don't get in trouble for a little bit of the commentary in the background. We've tried to talk over it as much as we could, and give people a little bit of something, just a little bit different. Obviously, feedback on this style of stream, I suppose, would be appreciated. There will be happening this year as well, but obviously to live action.
Yeah, and in them ones we can't have Eddie talking on it.
No, there
in
won't.
the background at all.
Yeah, there won't be any commentary from the BSN stream at all on them because they'll be live. Obviously,
And
as
we'll
you
get
say,
smacked bottoms.
I think these are free to watch on BSN now, so hopefully there's no copyright infringement. And again, we didn't show any action, and if people want to watch them, they can go onto BSN, and they're all on there.
Yeah, yeah, they are. Yeah.
So what have we got coming up quickly, Palmer?
So Sunday we've got a hockey watch along to Milton Keynes versus Swindon. Monday we've got another one of these meeting still to be determined.
It will be Glasgow though. Somebody against Glasgow or Glasgow versus somebody.
I'll do some research now and we can discuss it and we'll put all the details out in the morning.
Yeah.
And after that, I don't really know until... Oh, we've got the other hockey one, haven't we? A week on Sunday.
A week on Sunday the 23rd. Telford Tigers versus the Swindon Wildcats. Then there'll just be a few more rewatch alongs taking us up to the Ben Fund, which is planned to be our first meeting, unless Niels Christian Everson's testimonial is streamed, and then that might be our first meeting. But at the moment, as he commented back to you the other day, there isn't a stream agreed for it, which is a shame because it looks a really good meeting, and that's without seeing any riders yet.
Maybe, maybe someone could go with their iPhone and just stream it straight to Facebook and we could provide the official commentary or something, but...
So, as it stands, our first live stream for Speedway this year will be the Ben Fund, which we'll do commentary on? I think that was the plan.
I'll just double check, but... I
think it was commentary for the Ben Fund.
Did you know we are the leaders in Speedway design?
According to us.
According to this website called D&D Media Designs.
That we did.
So, yeah, it'll be a bog standard watch along on the 23rd of March for Ben Fund Bonanza.
That'll be me and you then, because all commentaries are me and you this year, aren't they? So.
And we've got a schedule right until May.
And obviously Everson's meeting will be added to that if he does find a streaming partner. Dougie's won't be, because although the lineup looks fantastic, you'll be there. And
I'll be there,
Saturday.
so please buy me a pint if you're there.
And I think he's dead.
Grand for you as well.
Oh, he's back alive. He went dead for a minute.
Oh, that's a shame.
There is... Hopefully we'll be able to put out who we're sponsoring in that meeting of Dougie's at some point, but we have got ourselves a pretty cool rider that we're sponsoring, so that's fun. it's nice to get involved in Dougie's meeting, and he obviously raced for Scunny for years, raced for Wolves as well, so we've both got strong ties with him. We've both done an interview with him in a previous podcast place, and he was great with us then as well.
Yeah, it was. I've got a lot of time for Dougie. I've got a lot of time for David Dowell. And as soon as it was announced he was having a testimonial, I didn't care where it was. And I'm pretty sure if it wasn't on a Saturday, I'm sure you probably would have come along as well.
Yeah.
So
and obviously you don't have to pay essentially because the admission ticket is included in the sponsorship that we've put in.
So it should be.
Yeah, it's true. But there's the Ben Fund as well. I don't think we'll be sponsoring anybody in that, but there's a cool
I doubt it,
set of
but
riders.
But if certain riders that we don't mind are announced for the Ben Fund, then
Who knows?
might just chuck £10 their way or something.
But yes, that's our watch along schedule and stuff. Couple of hockey ones, bit of rewatching from 23. There will also probably be a Plymouth meeting thrown in here. There'll be a Wolves meeting, a Birmingham meeting as well. So there's a nice range.
There is.
And maybe we'll throw an individual of some kind in here as well. Or something a bit different, a pairs meeting or something like that.
Do you know what would be cool to have a little rewatch back along?
What's that?
Peter Craven. I know it's at Bellevue and we don't really like them.
I've never ever watched one of them live.
But the your 5-rider semi-final and your 6-rider final are worth watching.
Are they on BSN?
I know there's 2 of them on BSN.
Was it last year's that had Freddie and Woofy and that? It had a really good lineup last year, didn't it?
It was either last year or year before. I think it might have been the year before.
Might have been the year before.
Where there was meant to have had a really, really banging lineup because me and Callum was going, and then they called it off just as we'd got in the car to go.
Ooh. Yeah, we'll have a look through them, see if we can do one of that. That'd be cool. I've never watched one of them live or on replay, so yeah, we'll have a look at that. I think that's us pretty much done for this evening.
I think that's us wrapped up for the night now, isn't it?
The details for Sunday will go out at some point. I don't know what time face-off is. That'll be another reactions one, and just a warning now, there might be strong language in that, because when we watch live sports, especially Palmer when it's the Wildcats, he gets a little bit excited.
Yeah, it's part of live sport, and if you don't get excited by live sport, you won't get excited by anything, not even sex.
And that's almost the reason I think we've added this Gogglebox style thing in it, so that we can be fans as well as do commentary on it. It's good for us to do commentary, something we enjoy, but also be fans and watch and react to sport as it happens.
Yeah, 100%, T-shirt coming soon.
Gotta get that T-shirt sorted.
The design will be sorted at some point in my life.
And we've also got to update our interval and end screen pictures, because they've got the old Shoot Some Shower logo on and all of that stuff.
I shall do that tomorrow, in fact.
Write it on the whiteboard.
That's just what I'm about to do now.
What would you do without that whiteboard, eh?
Oh, I'd be knackered without it. It's my little pride and joy. It's me telling me what the bloody hell I can and can't do, board.
At some point as well, actually, after the Premiership Media Day and after every club in the Championship has had their press days, we will do a Kevlar ranking system stream again for each team in the Premiership and each team in the Championship. There ain't no point for the National League or Trophy because they won't have team suits. But like we did last year, and we may do a Grand Prix one, which we were going to do last year and never ended up doing.
No, I don't think we did we?
No, we didn't. So we might do something like that. It's a little bit of fun in it, and see what each team will look like. Interesting, actually. Freddie Lindgren has put any doubts to bed if he was coming back to England to race full time again. He's already said he's not in his press release for the Ben Fund when it was announced today.
It was announced earlier with Kerr, wasn't he?
Yes, I think that was today.
So I think it was today.
And I fully expect him to do the Peter Craven on the Monday as well. I think he'll do a full weekend of it.
May as well do a full week of it.
He does love his pre-season trips to England, doesn't he? He did one last year. He was initially in the Ben Fund in March. He did Charles Wright's testimonial. He did the Peter Craven last year. I'd imagine he'll also ride in Niels Christian Everson's testimonial for the Wolves team. But
I'd imagine that.
that's obviously not confirmed yet, but I think if he's doing a pre-season tour, I think he'll ride in that as well. Obviously, most notorious Wolves rider, or one of at least.
Yeah, 100%. You can't. You think of Freddie Lundgren over here, and you think Wolves or Cardiff.
And we will have a pre-season build-up of just news. Any news. We're going to try and do a lot of results shows every month where we look back at important results, important transfers, all of that good stuff.
Right. Plymouth getting dick 70-20 everywhere they go, and stuff like that.
Plymouth get battered everywhere they go.
Yes, they do. More than a sausage in a chip shop.
And there will be a lot of food talk. There will be a lot of talk about food as well. And maybe a vlog or two.
Yeah, I do actually intend on bringing food reviews to the channel.
That'd be good. Yeah, that'd be cool. You've just got to get the video, send it to me. I'll put it together, and then we'll put it out. There's so many things we've got planned.
There is, and I think I'm almost certain I'll be at Dougie's testimonial on my own, so I'll make sure I can try and vlog what I can of that.
And obviously,
yeah.
I think, do you get a race on the centre green as a sponsor? I don't know if that's included in that price.
I'm not sure.
Can't remember what was included in the tier that we've gone for.
But when you've been a start marshal at least, you've seen it all anyway.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's it for tonight then. It's been a good watch along. Just over 2 hours in the end to watch a full meeting and have a little bit of a chin wag.
That's all we want, innit?
Yeah. No dropped frames, nothing like that. Everything's Bob on. It's also a good run out for our equipment for the season.
Same equipment from last season.
Yeah, but you
For
could
now.
give it a run out. Well, yeah, yours won't be. Hopefully next week.
That's the point. I'll write it on the whiteboard to order that vital piece of equipment.
Just so you don't forget it. Oh God! And while you were there, write down to put an alarm on for tomorrow morning.
Already done that bit.
You're on your months off from work with injury, and you're getting up early anyway.
Oh, I'm going to be absolutely knackered when I go back.
I think you'll be glad to be able to go back though. Torn
Achilles,
tendon, yeah.
The no jokes, so don't do it, folks.
Yeah, not fun. At least it's only partially torn now. It was only fully torn when you fell down the
It's only
mountain.
fully torn at the end of November.
Yeah, I bet you never thought we'd be in the middle of February and you still wouldn't be walking.
Absolutely not. I was kind of hoping I'd be walking after a week.
I remember you did it and you were saying you were going to have a week off and see how you went, tried to go back to work, and here we are 9 weeks later and you're still off.
9 weeks later?
10, over 10 now, isn't it?
This Friday will be 11 weeks.
Yeah, but 10 weeks since you tried to go back.
Oh, yeah, 10 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done that.
No,
and I
silly
deeply
idea,
regret it. So if Andy Harrison's watching, I do apologise.
Because you were about as
Please.
much use as a chicken nugget to a vegan on that day.
Please don't sack me.
But I think that's it now. We'll wrap up for tonight and we'll be back on Sunday with some hockey, Monday with some speedway, and Alan, unfortunately. No, it was alright tonight, I suppose.
It was alright, but we do apologise in advance for bringing Alan back on Monday.
And it'll be Glasgow, so it may be insufferable that night.
Yes.
Brilliant. Great. If you want to
But
wrap us up for the evening.
On that note, I believe that wraps us up for the evening. So thank you very, very much for joining us. It's been a pleasure to watch an old meeting back. Hopefully the next one will be a bit better. And from us, it's a very good night. And from Alan, he says ta-ra.